Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm having to film a little bit differently just for a few weeks because I'm in the pop-up, so it means that I don't have my usual setup, so apologies that if everything isn't quite as it usually is, but I promise you it'll be back to normal very soon. So today is a request video and it's some tips for self-massage when you get particularly sore necks or shoulders, especially when you're driving. So these are 3 easy tips that I use myself all of the time because there are times when I'm having to do a lot of massage myself and it actually ironically makes my own neck and shoulders sore, or when I'm doing a lot of driving too. So I hope you find it interesting and let's get started. Okay, so the first one's pretty obvious, but not everyone thinks about it, and it is just a source of heat, and it can be as simple as a hot water bottle. This is just a really nice, inexpensive, smaller one. It's not the biggest ones, and they're so convenient and so easy, but they're so effective because all you really need is a heat source. So if you know that you're going to be driving and you can actually take a hot water bottle with you, then just knowing that it's there, and if it's safe to use it, you can either have it at the lower part of your back, or you could have it, say, in the passenger seat, and then maybe when it's safe again to do so, just manoeuvre it behind your back, just so that you can get the heat there, and heat means that you're actually able to keep those muscles softer and more loosened. So tip number 1, and it's so cheap and easy, is a hot water bottle. And I thought you'd like to know that this one's actually been christened Rod Stewart because, again, of the animal print that's on it. So don't ask me why, but when we're looking for the hot water bottle here, we'll say, has anyone seen Rod Stewart? And we all know exactly what we're looking for. So if you name yours, by all means, let me know. But it's just funny that somehow this one just got christened Rod Stewart and it's stuck ever since. Okay, you might be familiar with these. They're just the wheat packs. Again, they're really inexpensive, but they are really effective. So again, not necessarily when you're driving, but if you can get heat into your neck and just wear this like a scarf, then that'll actually help overall. And sometimes you can buy them and they've got a scent of lavender. They can be aromatherapy fragrance. Other times they're just plain, and all you do is you heat it up in the microwave and then you can manoeuvre it round that neck area. The heat stays in it for quite a while. It really does retain the heat for quite a long time, and then when it starts to get a bit cooler, you can pop it in the microwave and heat it up again. It's another very effective method. My only issue is don't get used to using it all the time. Make sure again that your posture's okay, and don't overheat it in the microwave because you can actually burn the contents, and once it burns, the little, I don't know exactly what it is that's in it, obviously it's a wheat pack, so whatever it is, you can actually burn it, and the smell of burning will not go away once you've burnt what's inside. It smells burnt. And there's absolutely no pleasure when you're trying to relax and every time you inhale, you just smell the burning contents. So just take your time microwaving it, maybe a minute, 30 seconds or so at a time. And if you do burn the contents, then you're going to have to admit that that one is now finished and you need to get a fresh one. But these are so effective. So think about a wheat pack. Okay, so my next tip here is Audiosonic. We were trained in it when we were at college, and I actually saw this one after I'd finished training. It was always on my plan to get one, and I saw it in Boots, and it was actually comparatively quite cheap. It was about £90, which I know sounds a lot, but when you're preparing to buy kit when you're in the industry, these things can be into the hundreds. So it's one of the best investments I've ever made. I've actually kept the box too. I'll just quickly open it up for you. Again, it's the one-handed. Oh, there we go. That's made it easy. And what's great about Novasonic is that it's very convenient to use. You don't need someone else to massage you. You can do it through clothing. So what you can literally do is just hold this tool, click on the button, you've got your percussion and your vibration elements. You can change the intensity of the vibrations, and then this part here does all the work. So you can work it right into your neck, or ask someone else if they can work it into your neck and shoulders. Do it through your clothing. It builds up a very gentle heat. You can have a massage medium, or you don't have to have a massage medium, but think how great a muscle rub would be with this. We've got something like the Hermana muscle rub, and then you just pop it into the main supply. We've got the 2 different nozzles. You've got this nozzle, or you've also got your flatter nozzle here, but you can just get a really, really effective result with this, and it could possibly be the closest, I'd say, to a professional working on you but actually doing it at home. And as it tells you on the box, it's not just for muscular pain, it's for arthritis, rheumatism, backache, discomfort, even sciatica. And quite a lot of the time, sciatica can be a contraindication. So to know that you can use something like this can be the difference between walking about with a very painful neck and shoulders or feeling that you've got some relief. And I actually have a video, a demonstration on a model, so I'll link you to that in the description box. But I'd say if it's a constant issue and you're always getting the back and neck pain, have a little look at Novasonic. So the last part of my recommendations would be something like the massage pillows, and this is the Nipo one that you've seen previously on the channel. There's a little bit of heat involved, it's got the shiatsu massagers, and you can flip this over, so this part could be at the base of the back, or you could flip it round and make it at the neck. And again, it's just very handy because it's doing all the work for you. And I always think this is similar to when someone's using their knuckles. And again, because you can move the pillow around and there can be some infrared and some heat involved, you can just keep using this, I think, in 15-minute batches until you need to recharge it. And it's just a case of plugging it in at the wall. But something like this can be extremely beneficial in helping you to lower those shoulders. And that is my final tip, which is think about your posture and just breathing, taking the time to allow your shoulders to loosen and fall down, giving your neck a stretch, and just taking the time to relax and readjust yourself. And between everything, I hope that that's been useful and that will give you just some basic ideas on how to relax any shoulders and necks that are giving you some aches and pains. So thanks again, and don't forget to like and subscribe. This is an Audiosonic massage tool, and these are handheld devices which use sonic waves to treat conditions like muscle knots and nodules, aches and pains, migraines, sciatica, arthritis, neuralgia, and much more. But you must always check with your practitioner beforehand just in case you've got any contraindications. They are good for home use and they penetrate up to about 6 centimetres into the skin tissues, so you can get a deeper result than just a manual massage. The vibrations in the device sound like a humming sound, so you have 2 settings on this one. So setting 1 is quite mild, and then setting 2, you can hear that's a lot louder, and you've also got the frequency that we can change on this dial here. And the effects of this can penetrate deeper into your tissues, so it's improving the blood flow and the waste removal at your cellular level. So the main contraindications for Audiosonic are skin conditions and diseases, recent scar tissue up to about 6 months, large areas of bruising or cuts and abrasions, any undiagnosed pain, lumps or swelling until the client knows we can't possibly work on an area, highly vascular skin, so that's varicose veins included within that. And you also don't want to work on pregnant clients if anyone has a thrombosis or if there's an electronic implant like a pacemaker or any metal implants. We never work on the spine or on any very bony areas with this tool, but some people think that it can actually aid the relief of any disc troubles, while others think that if you do have a slip disc or any delicate areas there, just avoid it completely. So your best bet is to speak to the client, and if in any doubt, get GP referral. Just don't proceed if you don't feel confident doing this treatment. So what you would do when you're using the Audiosonic is do your manual massage on the area, especially if it's the back, warm up the tissues, and then this can be introduced maybe about 10 minutes in. A full treatment could last up to 20 minutes, but it depends on what the client's coming for and exactly what the problems are, if you're looking for knots and nodules or if it's just for relaxation. Always do your electrical safety checks. Make sure that any attachments are on securely, and you can check it on yourself first to make sure that it feels okay. Plus, if the client's never actually had this treatment before, when you're in your consultation, you could actually ask them if they'd like to try it just on the back of their hand so that they can feel the sensation and see if they're quite happy to proceed with the treatment. So we've manually warmed up the back with some Swedish massage, and we can use the flat attachment just now, which is for the larger areas. So what we'll do is we'll start off just on the lowest setting, and what you can do is just work in one direction. So for instance, we could just very gently slide the Audiosonic from the base of the back just up to the neck. And what you'll do is always support with your free hand, and it tends to be that the slower the moves, the more relaxation and also the more effective it is. So just take your time, and it's okay to see erythema because you are stimulating the skin and the tissues. So you just take your time, and always remember not to work directly over the spine or directly over bony areas. If you did want to concentrate on areas that tend to get quite sore, say for instance the scapula, then you could concentrate on just fanning out just to the shoulders, because again this will have a draining effect. And once you have finished using your Audiosonic tool as well, you can do some manual lymphatic drainage just to make sure that any waste products or any lactic acid in the muscles is effectively removed. You also find that a gentle heat starts to build up too, and it's quite normal for the client to comment and say that they feel the heat building up. Just be careful. If it feels that it's getting too uncomfortable or the skin becomes excessively red and there's excessive erythema present, then stop. So that's a basic demo of how to use the flat attachment for the larger areas, and we'll show you next how to use the smaller attachment to deal with knots and nodules. So this is the smaller attachment. It's more for working in direct areas, specifically areas of tension, knots and nodules. So again, make sure it's securely attached. You can test it on yourself. If you need to adjust any frequencies, then you can change them manually. And what you would do is just support with one hand and just work over areas in very small circles, and it's just helping to release any areas of tension there. It is really normal to see erythema present because we are working specifically over one area and stimulating that. So don't be alarmed. Again, it's just if it goes excessive or very hot that we would want to stop the treatment and let it cool down. You can just specifically work on one area that's causing the client discomfort. So you could go into the shoulders. You can work into the neck, or you could work down either side of the spine. But again, just be aware if there are any conditions. As we said previously, if there's any disc issues, well, some people believe this can help with the pain, others believe that the vibrations could actually irritate it. So the best advice is don't take any chances and seek GP referral. So again, if anyone gets sciatica, any aches and pains in the lower back area, you can really take your time and concentrate. Sometimes you start to speed up your work, but if you do catch yourself doing that, just take a little moment to slow it down, and it's much more relaxing for your client. As we said, don't go beyond 20 minutes, and then once you're finished, you can place your machine to the side and finish off your manual massage, and then just be sure to sanitize your equipment after use and make sure it's clean for future clients.